Hi everyone, this is Gaurav. Welcome to my learning channel. So in today's video, we'll learn about mean, median, and mode. This is perhaps most basic concept, and yet some of the candidates still get it wrong in the interview. So today, first of all, we'll try to understand what is mean, median, and mode, and followed by some of the interview questions. So without any further delay, let's get started. All right, let's look at mean. Per dictionary definition, mean is the sum of measurement divided by number of observation contained in the data. So say for instance, in the left hand side of the slide, we have time spent by six customers A through F in a store. Customer A spends 10 minutes, customer B spends 10 minutes, and then so on, and you have customer F who spends 30 minutes. So the mean would be 10 plus 10 plus 20 and so on up until 30 divided by 6. That comes out to be 21.6. As you can see, mean is nothing but a simple mathematical average for all of the data point contained in your data set. So something like mean is an ideal to get an aggregate trend. Let's say, for instance, if you have two data sets, population A or data set A versus population B or data set B, you want something which is quick and dirty so that you can compare A versus B. Mean is your go-to metric. However, mean is very sensitive to extreme value. So say, for instance, in this example, if I would have replaced 30 with 300, then your overall mean would have been significantly higher. Does that mean that on an average, people are spending a lot more time? No, absolutely not. It just simply means that your data has extreme value and because of which your mean gets distorted. And that's why something like mean is not ideal if your data has extreme values. So for instances like that, you have a different metric, which is median. The median is a middle number of the measurement arranged in the ascending or descending orders. So if your data has odd number of data points, then you should pick the middle number. And if the number of data point in your data set is even, then you should pick the average of the middle two numbers. So in this example, say for instance, you have six different data points, which is even. So you should pick the middle two and you should take an average, which comes out to be 25. So something like median is ideal to get the central point for a skewed data as well, which as you can see that this one is a little bit skewed. Now, going back to the same example, let's say, for instance, if I replace 30 with 300 or 3000 or 300,000 for that matter, you will see that your median does not change. And that's why if your data is fairly skewed, then something like median could be very helpful. The third and the last metric is mode. Mode is a measurement that occurs most frequently in the data set. So in the same example, you have customer A, B, C, and up until F who are spending different times in the store. So 10 occurs two times, 20 occurs only once, 30 occurs three different times. And that's why your mode is 30 minutes because this is the data point that occurs the most number of point in your data set. And that's why something like mode is ideal for categorical variable. Hopefully this gives you a good understanding of mean, median, and mode. So with this, let's take a look at some of the sample questions that could potentially come in your interview. First off, it will be somebody is going to give you a set of data points and they'll probably ask you to calculate mean, median, or mode. These questions are fairly rare, but sometimes these questions do get asked. The next question could be that when would you use something like a mean, median, and mode, and when you won't use something like a mean, median, and mode. Now, as I explained earlier, that something like mean is not very suitable for extreme values, median is good for that, and so on. So definitely remember those and definitely make sure that you have some examples for mean, median, and mode, when to use and when not to use. Third and the last question could be that which would be higher for right and left skewed data. Now, typically, whenever these type of a question come, they will not tell you what does it mean when they say left or a right skewed. So that's why I've drawn the diagram at the bottom. This is your right skewed data because you have a long tail in the right hand side. So for an instance like this, your median will be smaller and mean will be higher. And this is your typical definition of mean and median. But similarly, try to understand what would happen if your data is left skewed, if your data is right skewed, and you should know that what will be the relative value of mean, median, and mode relative to each other. So try to find out that answer yourself. And if possible, please put it in the comment section. And you can also be asked that if your data is symmetrical, then what will be the value for mean and median? So in which case it's going to be equal. And you should also remember that. And not only remember that, but you should also understand why. Hopefully this gives you a good idea about mean, median, and mode. So that's all for today's video. Happy learning. Thank you.